What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, I watched tonight's fights. I had to watch them in a weird order due to limited space on the DVR. So I ended up watching Lamont Peterson, that whole card on Showtime first. And then I watched the Mikey Garcia on a different TV. And I watched that after it. So I'm caught up. I watched all the main events and whatnot, all the big fights today. And I'm back with my post-fight, Mikey Garcia versus Juan Burgos. Now, I'm going to go through round by round. I'm going to speed by it because it was pretty dominant performance from Mikey Garcia. Round one was pretty dull, not much action. A lot of filler round, I would say, for both fighters. Really could have went either way. Mikey Garcia, his glove almost touched the canvas in the second round. There was a shot that Juan Burgos landed that woke him up. Round three, Mikey returns the favor. He hurts Burgos, who immediately clinches, and you can tell he's buzzed and shaken up. I think out of the two staggering moments, round three, Mikey Garcia had a better moment staggering his opponent, Burgos. And also in this round, Andre Ward mistakenly on the HBO commentary, he kept saying, Martinez needs to do this, Martinez needs to do this, but he was referring to Garcia. So that was one of the errors I noticed in the HBO telecast. I guess he was thinking of Rocky Martinez because his name came up, obviously, because both fighters that fought tonight had fought Rocky Martinez. Round four, Mikey's right was just landing clean. Garcia seems more confident. Burgos looks like a fighter who's starting to become a little uncertain. To me, this is where the fight shifted. The first round, like I said, it could have went either way. Round two, Mikey's glove almost touched the canvas, so I would give that round to Burgos. And then round three, immediately after, Garcia repaid the favor. So round four, he was just landing more effective, clean power shots, and just more shots that had more effect to me. So I think this is where the pendulum started to shift. Round five, clearly a Garcia round to me. Burgos looked more worried about what's coming and protecting himself than his own punch output. Garcia seems a little more in control, also a little bit more aggressive, cutting up the ring, landed some nice rights. Again, that was his money punch. He was just seeming to start to take over, become more confident. He had shaken off the near knockdown scare pretty nicely, similar to the Rocky Martinez fight. He was actually dropped in that fight, and he got back up and got back to business, got back to his game plan. Round six, Mikey landed two really significant punches, the best punches of that round. It was a roundhouse right around the guard of Burgos, and it reminded me of Marquez's punch that he landed on Pacquiao when Pacquiao had his guard up in the fourth fight with Pacquiao, the one that actually knocked Pacquiao down before he was knocked out. So that was a nice punch. And then he did a left to the body that you could tell it had an effect on Burgos. I think Burgos is just tough overall. He's a veteran. He's seasoned. So he had a good game face, good poker face. Burgos still, he looked discouraged. I mean, like I said, from rounds four on to me, Mikey's accuracy, his timing, he's just becoming slightly more effective in changing the tide. And he also looked more aggressive to me than he has in previous fights, which was cool to see, because that's one of my complaints. I think there's been times where Mikey Garcia had his man hurt, and he didn't really take many gambles when they were clearly hurt to the point where I thought he could have got him out of there. Round seven, Garcia again taking more chances. Burgos seems like he doesn't want to win. He's definitely not in any type of rhythm to take the belt or dethrone the champion. Round eight was more of the same. Round nine, Burgos punctuated the round. He started off nice. He looked re-energized, like he was coming hungry. But by the round's end, I thought Mikey started to corner Burgos, and he was timing the shit out of him. He just kept popping Burgos in the corner with a jab, just looking to track him down and stalking. He landed some body shots in there, which had Burgos in retreat mode. So that was a Garcia round, even though it started off like it looked like it was going to be a Burgos round. Round 10, Burgos looks like he's checked out mentally and is just trying to stay alive at this point. He's the Bee Gees. He's John Travolta trying to stay alive to me. And he's not willing to risk getting knocked out or do, again, what it would take to dethrone the champion. Round 11, the crowd begins to boo. Why should Mikey take a risk, though? I mean, he's handily winning, and especially, why take a risk for these fickle boxing fans who are willing to jump ship and dick ride the next winning fighter if he were to get knocked out? Let's say Mikey Garcia got knocked out. So many people to jump off the bandwagon. So the fuck is he going to take that gamble for? And then round 12, really more of the same, unanimous decision, Mikey Garcia. Okay, moving on. I'm going to do a separate video to get in that ass on HBO. I will talk about that. As far as the fight, like I said, it's stupid. Why take a dumbass risk to appease fans when you're clearly winning? And the thing that I don't think some viewers appreciate, they want to see this blood and guts Rocky type 4. If you want to see that, go to your nearest Redbox or Netflix or whatever and get those types of movies. Get a fucking action movie, a slasher flick, if you need non-stop action. Real boxing fans respect real boxing. You got to appreciate Mikey Garcia and his boxing ability. He was very defensive-minded, but he also had an offensive game. Sometimes you get one or the other. You got a guy who's real shelled up, and their defense is great, but they're not willing to engage. You cannot fucking blame the fighter when they're trying everything to make the fight, and their opponent just won't engage. Watch Nonito Donaire versus Nishioka. He was early on, he was not engaging. He was not doing anything. He felt that Nonito power or whatever, and he was too hesitant. Joseph Agbeko and Guillermo Rigondeaux. Watch that fight. He didn't want to engage. Watch Nonito Donaire versus Omar Narvaez. He was just shelling up, like blocking everything. Josh Clottey, Manny Pacquiao. I could do this all fucking day. And the thing that pissed me off with Clottey was I thought he could have gave Pacquiao a tough fight. And the motherfucker came out dancing and doing the electric slide and shit and some fucking African dances and shit, tribal dances. And he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing the whole fight. He let Pacquiao, like, there's a point where Pacquiao fucking punches him with two simultaneous fucking fists, like some Mortal Kombat Hadouken, some crazy shit. Anyway, point is, I could do this all day. I could think of several fights where that fighter, the opponent, felt something in them that made them mentally check out or hesitant to fight. Like I said, Nonito versus Omar Narvaez. He didn't want to engage, so what else can Nonito do to make the fight? Or with Nishioka, what the fuck do you want him to do other than put himself in harm's way and get Mickey Bayed? And what I mean by that, if you watch boxing, you should know the John Molina Jr. versus Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay was clearly winning the fight. No doubt about it, no ifs, ands about it. Some people probably left the stadium. If you were a John Molina fan, you probably left because he was getting waxed. Some people probably changed his channel, like, fuck this, I'm going to watch Family Feud. And guess what? Mickey Bay got overconfident and did too much. And he lost the fight in the 12th round. This is boxing, people. This is real life. This is not no fucking PS4, Xbox One game. So to tell a man who's literally already taking risks by trying to stalk a guy who's towering over him. If you look at Mikey Garcia and Burgos, that height differential was wicked. That was disgusting. That was like when Nonito fought Jeffrey Mathabula. That was a clear and concise height difference. And Burgos, again, is a veteran. He's seasoned. He's tough. He has pop. He has some punching power in there. Not necessarily Gennady Golovkin, but he has definite, I can get you out of there if you get reckless and stupid, don't fuck with me power. And some people are complaining like, oh, Mikey didn't take enough risks. Y'all are the same motherfuckers that will rob a bank and take all the gold bullion and all the fucking money and post it on Instagram. That's the type of dumb motherfuckers that watch boxing, apparently, because you guys are the same ones saying stuff. Y'all are the type to go to the casino with $20 to your name and come up 10,000 and put it back into the casino. That's basically the type of mentality that some of these fight fans fucking have. Like, you're willing to go there with 20. You went to the fucking casino with $20 to your name. Let's say you're flat broke. You came up $10,000 and you're going to just keep at it, keep playing until the fucking casino has the money back and then some. Because not only do they have your money, because you were dumb and you were a fucking moron, but they have your dignity. Now you don't have the $20 you came with, nor the $10,000 you came up, and you're left penniless, sucking dicks in the alley. That's the type of fucking fans when you request this dumb fuckery for Mikey Garcia, who had pretty much won rounds 4 through 12, damn near, and you want him to take, even though he was already cutting him off and stalking his opponent, doing what he thought was necessary to win, you want him to really press a tall fighter and take some stupid ass gamble and gamble his career away. He has a potential to possibly fight Gamboa, Yuriorkis Gamboa, possibly fight Pacquiao. Those things have been mentioned already. So the importance of him winning and not looking bad in doing that are huge. No one's going to, if he gets knocked out, who the fuck wants to see him jump up a million weight classes to fight Pacquiao? It makes no sense. So you got to realize this is boxing, this is real life. Same thing with Guillermo Rigondeaux when he fought Agbeko. If Agbeko is not game and he's just trying to save face like, yo, I went the distance with Rigondeaux. Yeah, anybody can go the distance if you're not doing shit and you're just blocking everything. And the funny thing is, I did a video about this recently. A lot of you guys criticize certain fighters like Rigondeaux, Edeslani Laura, Floyd Mayweather. You call them runners, yet you watch the fight with Mikey Garcia and Burgos actually, it's apparent he felt something in there that made him hesitant. And there were spots where he was actually running and retreating. He was in retreat mode. Yet you'll see Mayweather dominate Canelo and just completely outclass and embarrass him, picking him off and targeting his face and body and just, like I said, utter destruction, like in terms of not that he was going to knock him out, but just tagging him left and right. He was tattooing him. And you'll call that running. You'll be like, oh, he ran from Guerrero. He ran from Canelo. But Burgos clearly doesn't want to fight. And let me guess, he's a warrior. He's just a tough motherfucker, a tough son of a bitch. Some of you guys are so skewed. It's fucking disgusting. Props to Mikey Garcia. A great win. It wasn't the most entertaining, let's be honest. But I don't blame that on Mikey Garcia. He did what he could do to push for the fight. If you look at it, there's other fighters like Keith Thurman, another great fighter with skills and it looks like power, who's young and developing. And he had a fight with Jan Zibic, and it was pretty boring because Zibic was doing enough to not get knocked out, but wasn't really trying to take the title. I mean, Keith Thurman didn't have a title, but he wasn't trying to take the cake, I guess you could say, and beat Keith Thurman. So you could do enough to not get knocked out, but not do enough to beat the fucking person above you. It's like, I don't know if you guys have jobs, but have you ever had a coworker who, they're not horrible, they're not the bottom of the barrel, but they do just enough to not get fucking fired? That's exactly what Juan Carlos Burgos did. There's nothing directly distinct enough where you could just be like, Juan Carlos Burgos, you're fucking fired. You come late every day, you're fucking fired. You're out of here. Fuck it. But they're not great workers. They're not going above and beyond. They don't do stuff to make the customers happy. They're just there. They're just fucking doing just enough to stick around. Like, there's not anything hard enough for you to get them out of there or not. And that's kind of what Juan Carlos, whatever the fuck Burgos did. He did just enough to not get knocked out. Had he opened up, we probably would have seen a knockout. We knew his power hurt him in the third round, so he probably could have got the knockout if his opponent was willing to engage. And if you look at his fight with Rocky Martinez, more exciting. And that's because Rocky Martinez doesn't have as much power as Mikey Garcia. It's just a fact. I mean, he doesn't have as much pop, as much snap force behind his shots. So Burgos was game, and that was a good fight. I thought Burgos should have won that. So in all actuality, you want Mikey Garcia to take these dumbass unnecessary risks against someone who should be a title holder. Not only did he have 3 attempts at the title, he should have actually beat Rocky Martinez. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm done. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe to the next video. It's Ego signing off.